call the February 12th Triton School Board meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Recognition of visitors, open forum.
Did not have any requests this evening.
Okay. Does anybody have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Dwayne,
Second.
second by Dale, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Motion carries. Cobra Pride,
Yeah, our profile of the graduate ceremony is gonna be this Friday morning. So I'd like to recognize those students that we're going to be recognizing at that ceremony that we do in the multi-purpose room. So we've got Eleanor Casper, Piper Evans, Spencer Eckhoff, Eva Eipers, Adam Gardner, Isabella Ortiz, Alexis Randall, Lila Schley, Preston Erler, Gracelyn Schwering, Autumn Froyam, Briley Reneker, Guadalupe Mendoza, and McGuire Keller. So, and this was for, I believe, problem solving and dependability.
Yes.
Cool. I guess you have it on there.
Yeah.
All right. So congrats to those students.
approved consent agenda. Is there anything anyone wants to pull out?
I'll move to approve consent agenda.
Okay, motion by Jim,
Second.
second by Lloyd, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. 7.1, authorize students to attend BPA overnight trip to State Leadership Conference at the Hyatt Regency in Minneapolis, March 14th through 16th, 2024.
This is basically our state competition, correct?
It
For
is.
those students that are participating, and we have
We have 35.
35.
going.
I think last year was about 31.
Yep.
So again, another record this year with the number that are going to state for BPA. So kudos to Ms. Goosens for all of her work and leadership with that program.
I say kudos. Sitting in here that are going.
And
I'll make a motion to approve 7.1.
Second.
Motion by Rebecca, second by Brian, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 7.2, resolution directing the administration to make recommendations for reductions in programs and positions and reasons therefore.
basically, this is something we do every year. This time of year, if there are any cuts that we need to make, this would be authorizing us to do those as needed.
Any questions or discussion? This is a resolution, so we'll do a roll call vote. Brian?
I'll move to approve the
I'm sorry,
resolution.
thank you. Motion by Jim,
Second.
second by Brian. Dale, sorry. Got a motion and a second. We'll do a roll call vote. Rebecca? Yes. Jim?
Yes,
Lloyd?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Dewey?
Yes.
Jim? Dale, sorry. And Wendy, yes. 7.3, approve comparable worth pay equity report.
Yeah, and if you remember, we had this last year, so I was kind of like, how often do we do this? Because last year was the first time we had done it since I had been superintendent. And Deb said it's every 2 to 3 years, but not more than 5. And she thinks the reason that we're doing it again this year is because last year's came back, because remember last year's was the one that got emailed to an employee that didn't work here anymore, so we didn't even know that we were up to do it. But that got squared away, so now we got it this year. It was done on time and everything checked out, so we just need to basically approve that pay equity report.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Dwayne. I'll second. Second by Rebecca. All those in favor of 7.3?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. 7.4, discuss approve legal newspaper.
What I've learned is that the city and county were also relying on the legal decision from our attorney rather than having multiple people making multiple decisions. So took all the questions that we had and sent those back. So at this point, I'm gonna ask that we table that until we get a decision. They did not have a final decision yet before tonight's meeting. Originally, I thought they were going to, but with the confusion of who was all working for, our attorney was working for, kind of confused things, so we'll have that, I'm sure, at the next meeting.
Any motion to table? No. 7.5, reauthorize safe learning plan.
We actually did make some changes this time with just updating I mean, we still had some of the older COVID language and the nurse recommended that we change that to the updated guidance, so that's what we're doing, and we need to do that every 6 months anyway, because that is the requirement when we're getting ESSER funds.
You need a motion for that?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve 7.5. Second.
motion from Rebecca, second by Jim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 7.6, discuss approve Triton School calendar for 2024-2025.
So I did meet with staff and we did, I know the administrators did as well. Looking at the calendar, we did change the dates that we'll do the REDAC training. It's kind of a confusing situation because we were working with the vendor, but then MDE came out and said you actually have to schedule it through MDE, which that's the only way you can get reimbursed for the trainings. So we're working with MDE at this point, but the vendor said that they would block the dates that we have on the calendar off for us. So there is a possibility that something could go awry, but they did say that these dates that we have on here are open. So there were some changes on those dates. We did change the graduation date. So band choir kids will still be in school, so that would be on the 30th of May. And then the other thing that we talked about, we're changing the language from 6th and 9th grade. So it won't be 6th grade web and 6th grade. I think I have it on here. It's at the very bottom there. It'll say 6th and 9th grade orientation. So that first day of school on September 3rd will be orientation. Just a verbiage change, but I think it's clear. Other than that, we looked at some other options and things that we can do. And calendars are funny because it's like what some people want, other people don't. And to try to get something that everybody likes is compromise. So I felt like we were able to look at those. Yeah, overall, most of the calendar otherwise is staying the same. So just need to reapprove the calendar as you see it.
Yeah, I mean, she had 6 weeks in between those. Dates?
Yeah.
I'll move to approve 2024-2025 school calendar.
Second.
Okay, motion by Jim, second by Lloyd. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. 7.7, approve 6th grade overnight stay to Eagle Bluff, April 22nd through 24th.
Looking at this as a one-year alternative with a lot of the turnover we've had in staff. It's hard to try to keep things consistent, and with the changes that we've had. I think that the people that were volunteering to do it were feeling overwhelmed. And we threw this out as an idea. And looking at the price, it was actually pretty comparable. So we'll be able to do the trip for $40 versus the $30 that we charge for Whitewater. So it's still reasonable. It's just, for 1 year, we're gonna try it, see how it goes and go from there. But I think that, with us doing this, I think some people have realized that volunteering is essential for these types of things. So, we've actually heard from some people that are possibly interested in the future. So, but since we had approved it for Whitewater, we need to reapprove it to do it for Eagle Bluff. Tricia, anything I missed that you want to add?
I think you summed it up. Yeah, thank you.
Lou, good? Okay.
I'll make a motion to,
For 7.7.
I'll second.
Motion by Lloyd, second by Rebecca to approve 7.7. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. 7.8 enrollment update.
Try to find some positives in this. We're down 11 from the beginning of the year, but if you look at from January to November, we've only lost 2. So that is pretty typical to lose those students at the beginning of the year because we do have some migrant students, so that's expectable. We're going to see that every year at the beginning of the year to the later part of the year. The other thing that if you look at overall, what was I looking? If you look at the very top where we have the K, and then over on the left, or is it, where is it? It would be bottom. The numbers where we have the pre-K on the left. So early childhood and preschool. That's where I feel like we can have a very large impact on that by expanding our pre-K program. Because we would have the capacity for 90. That doesn't mean we'll get 90, but I did talk to Dave too about some of the busing and some things that we could do to increase those numbers. And they're also adding a 5-day-a-week class, which they think is going to fill up rather quickly. So the other thing that working with Christy Faber on, they want to move the preschool registration up a month because they think that that would also help. Because they did a cost comparison, and I'll share that. I don't have it all done yet, but I'll share that in my next update. Just the prices that are being charged by Triton versus some of the surrounding areas. Blooming is the only one that was competitive. Otherwise, I mean, we're half the rate of some of the schools, which they want to keep it that way. They want to make it affordable, but I do think that that will help us draw more students in the long run by expanding that program. So that's the positive that I'm looking at taking out of all of that. And I think the Spanish immersion kindergarten will be positive as well. Questions on enrollment?
7.9 student council update.
Yeah, so right now we got a couple things going on. Today was the first day of snow week, but we announced the court today. And each court member gets a bouquet of candy, so it's kind of fun. And we also have some activities this week. We have like 4-square volleyball and relay races during the day. And then today was also the first day of the food drive, and that goes on until the 23rd. So, yeah.
7.10 Zed report.
Zed lost a staff member here, what was it, 10 days ago or so, Charlie
Lonergan.
Young guy, 41, he had a brain tumor. I don't know, maybe you've already heard. It hit him pretty hard over there because, well, young guy, he was involved in a lot of stuff. But he had a 2-year-old son or a 2 or 3-year-old, and they're expecting a baby here in a month or 2. And so anyway, yeah, there was that. last month, we had a presentation from Christian Warnow. He's a Region 10, takes care of a lot of the low incidence stuff. Where you like, there's not too many depth or whatever, and they try and find resources and stuff to help those kids. And he works with, I don't know, I forget how many schools are involved in. It's quite an area. Then, let's see, we have a meeting this Thursday. There is on the agenda, I guess, a purchase of a handicap van. And we're gonna revisit the budget. And they did send out some creative writing. They had a contest there. And Triton, out of 322 total writers, Triton had 98, 82, 9 through 12, and 15, 5 through 6. I guess there were. Yeah, I don't know. So they'll put together a book. They can get, at some point with the winners and. I guess that's about it.
The other thing to mention, they did send out an email to the group that's involved with the diploma. So they're doing a survey. Just to try to get everybody's feedback and try to keep moving forward. I just got that tonight, so. I think that meeting is in the middle of February here, so I should be able to update on the March meeting.
So is that cash flow get on?
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, that was it. The business manager came up. Evidently, the State Department has changed their accounting program or something, and where they usually get funding in November or something, it was coming late. And I think they were okay, but it was getting a little tight. I guess they maybe sent some bills out to districts trying to get maybe paid a little sooner than if they could or something. I'm not sure. It sounded like they were, but it sounded like they were gonna be okay. It was just with the MDE was a little slow. I don't know if it affected anything here or not, but that's partially why they carry a pretty good fund balance, because they can't borrow money. Yeah.
Any questions? All right.
7.11 AD report.
Good evening, everybody. Just want to start out by saying congrats to the dance team. They finished their winter season here with their section meet. Just some fun things. I think that they improved with their scores every single meet. So, when we talk about competing with other schools, we can come into some meets where we're going against teams who are, some of the best in the state in our class, and others where maybe they're on the lower end. But for them to see that growth, I think was really important. I think it was awesome to see them show their routine on Friday night for the home basketball game that we had against Hayfield as well. And especially since we co-op with Hayfield, it was fun to see the Hayfield dancer be able to dance in front of her family and friends as well. January 27th was an awesome day just with our Hall of Fame induction. We had the one act play subsection here, in which our one act play squad finished third. Another tight contest. Believe it or not, it had to go down to the last tiebreaker between the second and third team. So it just was crazy with how that works, right? But then once again, we had the AAA recognition as well as the Excel Award recognition. So just a fun day with that as well. Wrestling begins their postseason this week. They take on Wabasha Kellogg in at Kenyon Wanamingo High School on Thursday. I'm gonna go out on a limb, say we're gonna beat Wabasha Kellogg right away, and then we'll wrestle Kenyon for the ability to go to the Middle Civic Center on Saturday. So it'll be a good day. Basketball is finishing up our regular season. I think it's gonna be fun to see how the girls shake out. I think the girls have the inside line at hosting a home playoff game. So that'd be really a cool thing for us to be able to do. Right now, they're kind of in the battle for the 8th seed, which would get us that home playoff game, which would be a lot of fun. We'll blow that out if that happens. One other kind of fun note that I just want to make sure that we mentioned to everybody is just on April 12th. We've got a softball doubleheader, but we're going to play it in West Concord. So the plan is for us to play Rochester Luard at 5 p.m. and then play Pine Island at 7 p.m. So we're trying to get, everybody, all three communities involved, number one, but number two, just give the girls a chance to play under the lights and kind of be able to have a little fun on a Friday night there as well. So things are moving and grooving, and we'll keep it rolling through the rest of the year. So
Are they gonna get some practices in under the lights too, just at least one or two?
we can definitely work on that. We don't have anything planned as of right now, but something to think about, right?
Any questions for Corey?
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're right, the wrestlers are gonna win.
7.12, principals report.
Even though Beak was back there. That's so
Not
quiet.
bad.
That's right.
Usually he makes his presence known.
I was in Randolph, Kenzie's seventh grade basketball game started at 4:30, so as I was driving back, I saw I still had time to make it. I decided not to go down to Lyle for the JV basketball game. Mr. Luderman, you're gonna kick us off here tonight?
I most definitely can. Which one's first there, Mr. Schlichting? Last week, if you didn't know, was National School Counseling Week. We recognized these three throughout the week, and I don't know, I think I need to have a conversation with them. During National School Counseling Week, they made it their mission to celebrate and provide treats to everybody else. It seemed like every day, I'm like, wait, is that the way it's supposed to work? Aren't we supposed to get stuff for you during this week? But in all seriousness, we're truly blessed to have the opportunity to work with these three, do tremendous work for our students and staff each and every day. So thankful and grateful to be on a great team, and definitely the counselors are a part of that.
I believe it was the week before that, January 21st to the 27th was state recognition of our paraprofessionals. This group, most of them are in this picture, and I cannot state enough of the fabulous job they do with our students on a daily basis. Paraprofessionals do not have easy positions in our school district, and they help make the school run smoothly. And we are very thankful for the group that we get to work with on a daily basis, and so are our students. Some of our neediest students have support with some of these individuals, and they do a fantastic job. So thank you, paraprofessionals. We've put up some bullet points here that we wanted to talk about. The month of February in the elementary schools, I Love to Read Month. As part of that, the students are tracking their reading minutes, and we have a bunch of different activities going on throughout the school. I want to shout out Tara Bradford. She has 4 different authors coming to speak with our classes. So everyone from 1st through 5th grade will be meeting with an actual author and reading the books alongside of them. We had mystery readers in different classrooms. We've had a lot of parents in reading. I had the opportunity to read to a couple 2nd grade classrooms today. So those festivities will continue throughout the month of February. Also wanted to point out our school-wide incentive. This year in the elementary school, each class can earn gems. And they can earn up to 3 gems when they go to physical education, or when they're in music, or if they're quiet in the hallways and I compliment the teacher, I can say, hey, I think that class deserves a couple gems. Once they fill up a gem jar, which is nothing more than a mason jar, with their gems, they have a class-wide incentive. For example, maybe a pajama day, or maybe it's bring a stuffed animal to school day, or a hat day. Maybe the class watches a movie that Friday afternoon. As an entire school, we set the number at 35. Once we had 35 classrooms that filled up their gem jars, we're going to have a school-wide incentive. And the students earned that the week prior to last. And they got an ice cream social, so every student in the school, some vanilla ice cream through Taher, and Misty and her gang did a great job helping out. We had Oreos and M&Ms and all the good stuff for that, and students really liked that. Also, since the last time we met, Minnesota Department of Transportation has been to Triton Elementary, and they do a bridge in the bag activity with our second grade. We broke our three sections into two groups. They both had about an hour with Minnesota Department of Transportation working on the building of a bridge and learning about bridges in the area. Our fourth grade just attended a Rochester Orchestra concert. That was that last week, Mr. Anderson. This Wednesday, our fifth grade are attending ice skating. That'll be over in Casson. And I wanted to point out and thank two different substantial donations that we received. First off, Sue and Dan Walsh made a donation for the skating program that we've done historically in elementary school. This ensures that all of our students are having the opportunity to participate in the skating without asking them to bring in money. So thank you to Sue and Dan Walsh. That was outstanding. Also, our elementary team made a sizable donation, donating $500 to each of the grade levels. And then in addition to that, they donate $200 to every specialist, including special education and early childhood special education. So grand total of about a $4,600 donation from team. I was able to provide to the staff, and they can use that for classroom materials and supplies. We're looking to fill back up that donation jar, if you will, with our fun run that we did last year. We were able to raise some pretty good money, and we're going to participate in that again this April. So a lot of happenings in the elementary school. Mrs. Johnson?
And a few fun things in middle school too. So believe it or not, we're going skiing on Wednesday. Not a lot of snow here, but luckily Welch Village makes their own. So it should actually be a really nice day, I think, for our seventh grade class to get out there. So about 70 students, some staff, and some parent chaperones as well. So fun day planned on Valentine's Day for our seventh graders. Just wanted to mention we have a band and choir concert next Monday. So our middle school students are practicing this week for that, and looking forward to that night. And we too have some fun I Love to Read month things going on. So I wanted to give a shout out to our library staff. So we had turnover this year with the staffing of that. But we have Allie McMartin and Sarah Allen that split their time in our middle school library, and they're doing some really neat things to try to encourage students to not only come into the library, but check out a book and read a book. So they're doing a great job, and I appreciate the fun things they're doing this month with clues to different books, and then highlighting, trying to encourage students to go check out those books in the library. And it's not on there, but I also want to say in just a few weeks, middle school is also having a dodgeball tournament. So it's not too late for a school board team to get in on that. So our parent team group is putting that on, and looking forward to just a fun afternoon with our students, some parents, and any of you are welcome to come too. So that's on March 4th.
Just for the record, if you do have a school board team, you get to pick up the student council. That might be a helpful. I'd take Corey any day, so appreciate that, Tricia. In recent weeks, we've made the transition to semester 2. It's a big time in our school year because all the schedules changed, the teachers have new assignments, etc. It has gone exceptionally well. Just wanted to remind everybody here, I wish you could just snap your fingers and that took place. It doesn't. The change of the semester at Triton High School is busy because there's something else that goes on close to that time is Wolf Ridge as well. So we have a lot of activities right there at the culmination at the end of the semester. You have a day of grading to finish off semester 1, and then you try and get all that stuff done so you can plan and prepare for semester 2. But our staff, they did a fantastic job, and proud of the work that we've done to have a smooth start. No snow week, you could call it. I'm trying to think of a creative name. I tried a couple of creative names today with kids and they just look at me. What are you talking about? So yes, it is snow week, and I know Corey had mentioned it in the student council report, but just a shout out for our students and staff for participating in those events. And even though we don't have snow, we can still have fun in school. So hopefully the week will go well. Just wanted to update the board, the EMT program. obviously the health sciences career pathway in southeastern Minnesota is huge, right? And when we were going through our academy's approach and what areas we can improve, the health sciences is an area we need to improve. So in consultation with the Dodge Center Ambulance, we're in the beginning stages of having a conversation about offering an EMT class here at Triton next school year. Okay, so I wanted the board to have the knowledge base because we're gonna start to communicate this with parents. So you may receive some questions out in the community about this, but really, really excited about it. We're also in talks with KM schools. We may work together to offer more than one class. So we'll work with our neighbors and partners and hopefully provide this experience for our students. Right now, we're looking at, it'd be 1 hour the second semester of the 24-25 school year. So the instructor would be here 2 days per week, and the other time we'd have a staff assigned and the students would work through the trainings on a computer. And then they'd have the in-person instruction 2 days per week. So from what I've seen, we're able to do it in a real cost-effective way for our families, and we're working out ways to offset that cost even more. Hopefully we can do it free for students. And one piece we're working on too is to run it concurrently with RCTC. So then students would receive college credit for that as well. So pretty exciting. The EMT piece, if you take the class, obviously you still need to pass a certification exam. It doesn't mean to pass the class at Triton, you get to go do it, but it should prepare you to take the test.
And they could be licensed then when they take that test.
Correct. I'm learning a lot. I didn't know enough about it, but our local director, Mr. AJ Gangler, has been fantastic to work with. So hopefully we'll continue to move that forward.
We also wanted to point out this Friday is our next profile graduate ceremony in the small cafeteria this month. And last month, we're recognizing for dependability and problem solving. So 7:30, if you're available, especially if you've never made it to one, it's a pretty neat ceremony celebrating our students, kindergarten through 12th grade.
A great way to start a Friday. Yeah.
Oh, I have more surprises. This group here, as you navigate a school year, especially the end of the semester, it's a busy transition time. So it's fun to step back and recognize the students that are excelling and doing things well. We're missing a few students, but these are your 4.0 students from first semester, this group here. And then the next 2 pages are the honor roll students. And we're going to make sure and publicize that and get it in the paper as well. The 9 through 12 were a little bit behind the middle school because we have a 10-day period for the incomplete grades before we publish to a transcript. That's why you haven't seen that till now. So definitely wanted to acknowledge those students as well. Questions? Thank you.
Thank you. 7.13 Superintendent's Report.
So happy School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you all for what you do. It's a service to our community and it's appreciated. You don't always hear that, so I just wanted to say thank you because I appreciate working with all of you. Luke mentioned the EMT class. Superintendent position, next steps. I just want to get a hold of MSBA and just make sure I get a kind of a timeline with them and then we can meet and talk process. If you have any questions on that, let me know. Pre-K updates. Been meeting with Christy and Mindy and I feel like we're getting some things worked out and just continuing to work on that and look at all of the different things we need to look at. But if we can get those pre-K numbers up around 90, that would be huge for us as a district. READ Act, I just wanted to let you know that we did designate Mr. Van Beek as our district contact. So any of the READ Act things, like we said, you can't schedule the training with the company that does the training, you have to schedule it through MDE. So he is basically now our point person with all of the contact and training and all of those types of things, which is moving along. it is interesting, and I do feel fortunate that we actually have a calendar and we actually have some dates set up, because the last meeting, there were a number of schools that are already talking about variances to postpone things a year, because they're trying to get that into a calendar can be difficult. So I feel good about where we're at overall with that. Talk with the CISO folks tomorrow. The survey that they want to do is real simple. It's like a 3-question survey. So I think we can do that with just them, and push that out to the upcoming kindergarten class. So, that's what they're looking at doing there. I did want to just touch March next month will be kind of our staffing month. So we're looking at putting those kind of things. We have a number of staff that are out of field permissions, and we have to post those in order to rehire them and those kinds of things. So that'll be coming up in March, next month. Also, I don't know if you heard, but Glenn Pappenfuss passed away, and just wanted to recognize him. He was a teacher in our district for a number of years, and always appreciated working with Pap. He was a teacher that at one point in time, I was talking to a neighbor of his, and he said Pap always kind of saw it as he was a different type of special ed teacher. Because back in the day, early the days, if a kid was struggling in school, they loaded them up with shop classes. So Pap had a lot of students, and the crazy thing is, a lot of those students were still in touch with him. So it just says a lot about the types of relationships he was able to build with kids. So just wanted to mention that. And that was all I had. Any questions?
Any other new business? Our next school board meeting is March 18th. There's nothing else. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.